Welcome back, darlings, to another video. Please use headphones for the best listening experience. Thank you very much. My. Well done, my little minion. Please open the cage. Let our friend get some air, and then you can be dismissed. Thank you. That's better, right? Just look at you. Such an adorable little thing. Menace sprites like you are vanishingly rare. It is thrilling to be able to lay my eyes on one. Look at you, shaking like a little leaf. I suppose that's not entirely a bad thing. You would be wise to cultivate a healthy fear of me. I am Nasachi, the greatest witch that ever lived. I'm not sure if a sprite like you would have heard of me, but among humans I am quite an important figure. I have claimed vast stretches of land so that I can use the resources to further my magic research. Strictly speaking, it's not exactly an empire, since I do drive out anyone in the lands I conquer. Only the minions that I create with my own magic get to inhabit my territory. People do say that I rule one of the largest empires in the world, though. They used to, at least. It seems that my conquests drew the attention of several kingdoms. Yeah, kingdoms far to the east. I was expanding in their direction as one does, and they decided that, they didn't like that. They all banded together and formed an alliance for the sole purpose of destroying all my hard work. It's been such an inconvenience. I had been making great strides in developing my immortality ritual, but now that I have to split my focus and my time between research and defending my territory, I'm sorry, darling. I'm rambling on. What I would really like to talk to you about is you. Yes, how can you help me, my darling little pet? I mean, you are. You have nothing to say in this matter. And speaking of speaking, you do know how to speak, I assume. I only know what I read, and there's precious little information about your species. Do you really not understand me? Or are you just playing dumb? If you can speak, I would highly recommend that you do so right now. Things will go much, much better if you're able to communicate better for you. I won't hold it against you if you simply speak up now, but afterwards there will be consequences. if I find out that you are lying? Ah, much better. What a darling little voice. I thought as much. It's very rare for humanoid species to be incapable of speech, and I've enchanted my voice to be comprehensible for any creature capable of thought. So, is it true? Yeah, is it true what they say about mana sprites? Can you really draw mana out of the thin air and distill it into liquid? Fascinating. There are simply too many intriguing applications for magical energy converted into a physical form. It truly pains me that you mana sprites are wasting nearly limitless resources of power on cultivating magical plants. Unfortunately, for now, I will have to postpone theoretical applications. At the moment, I need your distilled mana for a more straightforward purpose. Well, one thing that's a constant source of frustration for a witch like me is the fact that I am, at my core, human. Humans aren't exactly truly magical creatures, and our affinity for spellcasting is vestigial at best. Even I, one of the most, probably the most powerful spellcasters that mankind has ever seen, I am limited by my nature. Simply put, it takes ages for me to build up my mana reserves. I've implemented all sorts of methods to increase my charging speed. Ultimately, however, it does put a bottleneck on what I can accomplish. The Eastern Kingdom Alliance that I mentioned before has a formidable army. I can win against them. Yeah, every time I go to battle. But then I lose 5 more battles after that I cannot attend because I am building up my power. But you, my beautiful little creature, you are going to fix all of that. Based on my research, simply drinking your distilled mana will replenish my reserves instantly. Yes. Don't worry, I'm just here for your mana. My greatest obstacle would be completely gone if I could have that. It'll give me a chance to fight back. I know, darling, it's true. A single mana sprite such as yourself can't produce very much distilled mana at once. Yes, I actually heard that the distilling process was even slower than most humans' internal charging speed. I have a workaround, of course. I believe that I've come up with a way of speeding up your distillation rate. If my calculations are correct, in one day I could make you produce as much mana as I could build up in 3 weeks. Isn't that perfect? It's absolutely fantastic. And, of course, it's me, so it's quite ingenious. yet very simple. I'm just gonna cast a spell on you to speed things up. And simultaneously, I will enchant you with a regeneration spell so that you don't age. Using both of these at the same time, it does require quite an amount of magic, of course, but you should be able to produce more than I use up. So it's absolutely bulletproof, infinite energy. Oh, I mean, we can't be certain, of course, until we tested it. I imagine it will be quite an unpleasant experience for you. Constantly breaking down and regenerating the same time. It's bound to be an intense feeling. I'm sure it sounds frightening, but sometimes great works of magic require great sacrifice. Your sacrifice, of course. Honestly, my first idea was to cast those specific spells on myself to boost my recharge rate. But there's a lot of risks that come with casting a time spell on oneself. If I ever slipped up, I could get stuck in a time loop, or a multitude of other problems could arise. It's much, much safer for everyone if the caster is outside of the effect. I can save you if something goes wrong, and I will save you because you're mine now. Don't worry. Don't panic. No, it won't be enjoyable, but you won't have to do it all the time. Maybe just once or twice per day. And aside from that, you are gonna have all the luxuries in the world. Did you forget that I'm a witch empress? You're in my team now, darling. Whether you want to or not. Listen, I'm gonna take you out of your cage just so we can try this out. Don't try to escape. I have dozens of ways that I could recapture you, and rebellious acts will be punished. Here we go. How sweet to think that such a useful creature can fit into my hands. Come here, darling. I already have everything set up. Shh, 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 shh. No. Don't struggle. I'm sure you're feeling apprehensive, but try to think of the big picture here. You have a rare opportunity to change the world. Don't you want to do more with your life than farm berries? Alright, so I'm just gonna strap you closer to myself, down here, near my lap, and now just a couple of simple incantations. Oh, such sad sounds, darling. Oh, it's such a shame. I'm always tempted to cast a calming spell, or at least a noise-cancelling spell. I don't want to add a bunch of unnecessary incantations and enchantments, though. The point is to get more magic out of you than into you, right? And just a few more. You really are a powerful little creature, aren't you? And there. See? That didn't take so long. And look at all the distilled mana you produced. It's all over the floor. I'm gonna scoop it up in my vial. That's much more than I was expecting. What a good boy. Oh, you must be all tuckered out. Come here. You can lie down in my lap if you want. There. Are you comfortable? Let me just see here. Oh, good boy. Now let's just see how well this works. What a rush. I can actually feel your mana flowing inside of my stomach and throughout my entire body. And yes, I most definitely have more now than I had before I cast those spells. This changes everything. I'm not gonna have to stress anymore about those oafs at my border. I'm gonna get all my land back and much, much more. All thanks to you. You look so precious, curled up in my lap like this. In fact, perhaps my lap should be your usual spot. You know, I was gonna keep you in that awful cage in a high security vault, but I think that perhaps I'll just keep you around me. As a pet of sorts. After all, what place would be safer than my immediate vicinity? I will take good care of you. And now that I'm thinking about it, you could be a bit of a symbol of power. I don't get many visitors, by choice of course, but when I do, having such a rare and enchanting creature that grants such power in my possession, that will surely make people think twice before trying anything with me. Yeah, this is going to be absolutely perfect. You are going to make me the most powerful spellcaster in the world. Not even that sorceress queen who claims to be my rival will be able to do anything against us. Look at those pretty eyes. You really are exhausted, aren't you? It's okay. You can rest now. You're safe with me. I'm gonna wake you when it's time for dinner and feeding. I'll make sure that I'm gonna give you a nice big meal before I have to distill more mana from you. Good night, my new little pet.